Gear Evolution. Chapter 10. Steel and Sinew. The resonance chamber hung heavy in silence. Francis stirred weakly in the stabilizer web, eyes half opening. His chest rose and fell with effort, but at least he was breathing steady now. Joseph stood rigid, arms crossed, goggles dim but unblinking. Five paced restlessly, sparks of energy flickering in his crimson eyes. Isaac leaned on his console, headphones around his neck. "He's not moving anywhere soon," Isaac said, nodding toward Francis. His body still fried from pushing too far. Francis's voice rasped through the still air. Don't count me out. But if you're thinking what I think you are..." His eyes cut to Joseph. "Do it." Joseph's jaw tightened. "Blake." Isaac nodded once, firm. "It's the right call." Joseph's visor flared faintly. "Blake doesn't work with people. He breaks them," Isaac's gaze sharpened. "And Kowalski's breaking us one by one. If you've got a better idea, now's the time." Five frowned. "Who's Blake?" Francis managed a weak smile. "Strongest gear in the program, stronger than Joseph, but stubborn and dangerous." Joseph didn't argue, but his silence carried the weight of old grudges. Finally, he said, "Isaac." "Find him." Isaac's console hummed as he scanned resonance signals. Green patterns danced across the dead screens, stabilizing into pulses. While Isaac worked, Francis pushed himself upright in the stabilizer web, jaw tight as his eyes swept over the wreckage. Shards of glass, scorched metal, hardened wax coating the walls. "What the hell did I miss?" His voice was rough but steady. Five shifted uncomfortably, glancing at Joseph. "You should tell him." Joseph's goggles glowed faintly as he stepped forward. Earl wasn't here to kill us. He was recon, testing us, reporting back. Everything he did was to drain our strength, and I'm thinking Melissa and the guy in black was sent to do the same. Francis's expression darkened. "So Kowalski's measuring us, keeping score." "Exactly," Joseph said. Isaac straightened from the console, voice sharp. "Which means next time won't be recon. Next time we'll be an execution squad. We can't sit still." The console beeped. Isaac's head lifted. "Found him. Eastern slag zones." His voice darkened. "But Silos is already there. 6 operatives converging. One's different." Joseph grabbed his bracer. "Then we go." Isaac stepped forward. "Not all of us." "Francis stays. If he pushes again, he dies." Francis gritted his teeth. "You're benching me?" Joseph's voice was cold steel. "You'll help no one dead." Francis cursed under his breath, but let it go. Joseph turned to Five. "You're with me." Five nodded, throat tight. The slag fields loomed like steel graveyards. Smoke hissed between melted towers, shadows bending with the heat. At the center, Blake was a storm. His muscles bulged under black ink tattoos as he ripped a steel beam from the dirt. Crash. 2 armored Silos operatives flew. Pulse rifles barked. Drones zipped overhead. From a drainage pipe oozed a hulking man, drowned in slime, mucus dripping in ropes from every joint. His club of hardened phlegm scraped sparks against metal. Snot Gear grinned. "Time to suffocate you." Blake snarled. "Disgusting." That's when Joseph and Five arrived. From a steel ledge, Joseph's goggles flared orange. Whoosh! A beam of heat vision scorched 3 operatives, rifles melting in their hands. Five froze at the sight of Blake. He wasn't just strong, he was terrifying. On the ground, Blake scowled up. "Didn't ask for help, Goggles." Joseph leapt down. "Didn't ask your permission." The field erupted. Blake charged, steel beam gripped in his fists. He swung. Wham! The metal slammed into Snot Gear's chest, but the beam sank into the mucus like wet clay, and snapped in half with a sickening crack. The monster laughed, bubbling slime spraying with each word. "Stronger you hit, harder I bounce back." Joseph moved in from the side, his visor glowing. Crack, crack! His fists struck glowing weak points along the beast's ribs. But splat! Splorch! The blows sank into slime and recoiled, hurling Joseph back into a mound of scrap. Blake roared, charging again. Thud! His knuckles slammed into hardened snot armor, only to rebound with bone-rattling force. He stumbled backward, teeth bared. From the sideline, Five shouted, "You're not sinking. He's using your own force against you." "Then we'll break him anyway," Blake bellowed, charging again. The mucus giant slammed his club down. Boom! The impact shattered the ground, flinging shrapnel and scrap metal into the air. Joseph rolled aside, goggles flaring. Heat vision cut across the chamber. Steam rose as slime boiled, but the monster only laughed, shaking it off. Then came the trap. The creature inhaled, body swelling grotesquely. Its chest ballooned, throat convulsing. Sploosh! A tidal wave of phlegm spewed forth, engulfing Joseph and Blake. The slime hardened like cement, locking their limbs. Blake strained, muscles bulging. "Can't move." Joseph's fists glowed with heat, but each blast fizzled, smothered in the muck. Five froze, terror in his glowing eyes. "We're going to lose." Whoom! A sonic crack tore through the battlefield. Francis blurred across the field in a streak of speed, chest heaving, his face pale but burning with determination. Isaac followed close, resonance coils glowing blue. He raised a hand, catching Francis's sonic boom and shaping it. Boom! The focused blast slammed into Snotgear's skull. The mucus giant convulsed, body vibrating violently as armor splintered and cracked. "Now!" Isaac roared. Joseph ripped free first, goggles blazing. His visor mapped glowing fractures across the monster's chest. He lunged, fists pounding the weak points with surgical precision. Crack, crack, crack. Blake tore loose a moment later, fury igniting his muscles. He leapt, driving a hammering punch down from above. Smash! The giant staggered, slime spraying in sheets. Joseph slipped behind him, locking an arm around the creature's thick, dripping neck, forcing him forward. "Blake, finish it!" Blake surged, every muscle screaming. He threw one last punch, a full-body swing that caved the giant's chest inward with a deafening boom. Snotgear's body erupted in steam and bile, collapsing in a bubbling heap. The slag yard went silent but for the hiss of dripping slime. The battlefield reeked of acid. Blake stood, fists raw, slime dripping. He glared at Joseph. "Don't think this means I'm joining your circus act." Francis leaned against Isaac, voice sharp. "Cut the crap. You saw what they're sending." "Alone, you're dead," Isaac added, calm but firm. "Kowalski's arsenal is awake. We either fight him together or we die apart." Blake scowled, but his gaze flicked to Five. Five's fists were clenched, his voice cut through. "You're a jerk." Blake blinked. "What?" Five's eyes glowed faintly red. "You don't fight with people. You fight like you're the only one here, but if Francis and Isaac hadn't shown up, you'd still be in that slime." Silence. Then Blake laughed, low and grudging. "Kid's got guts." His eyes narrowed. "What's your deal?" Five didn't answer, but the glow in his eyes said enough. Blake smirked. "Fine. I'll stick around." For now, Isaac straightened. "Before we left, I picked up a signal. Resonance." "I'd know anywhere." Joseph turned sharply. "From who?" Isaac's voice dropped. "Alara." The group froze. Even Blake's smirk faltered. Far away, deep in the shadows of the Silo space, Kowalski's voice echoed against glass and steel. Melissa failed. Earl failed. Even Snot was never meant to win, but failure is the plan. Every fight pushes them deeper. Every victory drains their bodies. Every clash forces the boy's gears further. He stepped into the light, eyes reflecting something monstrous. Soldiers don't matter. Gear Zero doesn't need soldiers, it needs vessels. And when the child breaks open, when the mind gear shatters its limits, he will be mine.